Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Steelbook Obsessed. My name is Jake, and I feel like ever since I really started making full-form, long-form videos over on my YouTube side of things, I haven't really done a lot of Steelbook content. That's about to change. I have pulled some of my favorite horror movie Steelbooks. One thing I love about Steelbooks and why I have over 1,000 Steelbooks in my collection is because the artwork changes all the time on movies that I absolutely love. So it gives me a reason to do a little double dip. So this is going to be my first installment of same movie, different Steelbook, horror edition. This is volume 1. I'm going to have a few of these volumes, I think, because I just grabbed the ones that I could think of off the top of my head. And of course, the first one that comes to my mind is my favorite movie of all time, and it's John Carpenter's The Thing. I think this movie is absolute perfection. And let's see here, I have, 5, 6 Steelbooks for John Carpenter's The Thing, because I love it so much. If you like this type of content, make sure you give this video a like, make sure you are following me and subscribed and all that fun stuff, because I have a lot of horror movie Steelbooks to show you for the month of October. So strap in, because it should be a very, very fun time. First Steelbook I have is a German exclusive Steelbook for John Carpenter's The Thing. I'm so happy that this one does not have that nasty rating sticker that would take up a good chunk of this Steelbook. I think a Steelbook looks absolutely sharp. Love it. It's a different type of artwork that I really haven't seen in a lot of other releases. Here's the back here as well. The poor old doggo. Here is the front and back all open up into one. And on the inside, we got a double shot of The Thing, the main image that you see on the poster all the time. We got the main one right here in black and white, and then we have the disc here as well. Great looking Steelbook, if I do say so myself, and I do love the nice touch of this doing a one image, like the tentacles kind of flow from one side to the next. I always give a Steelbook brownie points whenever they decide to do that, because you don't have to do that. And yeah, I will always give you credit for whenever you do that. The next Steelbook I'm going to show off is one of my greatest pride and joy pieces in my collection, and that is the Film Arena box set of John Carpenter's The Thing. I absolutely love it. This sucker is a beefy boy. I'm not going to showcase off this entire box because that's not what this video is about. But I think I did a video on all my premium Steelbooks. That might have been a while ago, I'm not sure. But this is number 803 out of 1,000. Love everything about this release so much. Film Arena puts out amazing premium Steelbooks. This Steelbook is the one that came out in the States when the 4K came out. So you might be saying, why did you get the big beefy set and it only came with the Steelbook that was readily available? It's not anymore. It's been out of print for a while. But we have the nice image of all of the faces kind of frozen together here on the front. On the back, you got the classic poster artwork once again. On the inside, you have a lot of extras. I guess I will take out discs and stuff, but there's a 4K, a Blu-ray. There's a lot of stuff in this one. Like I said, I'm gonna have to unpack this sucker. You get the 4K disc, classic artwork. Don't want to scratch up the 4K. On the Blu-ray disc, we have, you can barely see anything, but you can see it's kind of like the faces popping out. Again, different artwork than I haven't really seen before elsewhere. I was able to see John Carpenter's The Thing when there was a re-release in theaters. Loved that experience. I've probably seen this movie, I don't know, 10-ish times. And this was a very fun fan experience to go to. It also comes with like a giant coaster looking image. Haven't really seen anything like this in a premium before. It also comes with a numbered card. Like I said before, this is number 803 out of 1,000. And then we also have Mr. McCreary right there, Mr. Kurt Russell in the flesh. Very, very good. I'm gonna put all this stuff back really fast. But yeah, that's not even the main reason why I wanted to get this set. All of the physical goodies with my physical media is always going to be a plus in my book. But here is the cherry on top once I'm done putting everything back in the Steelbook. Like I said prior, why would I just get this as the regular edition if I could have got it cheaper in the States? That's because it comes with a lenticular, and the lenticular is a magnet. And the magnet just goes on the Steelbook like so, covers everything up so nicely. And now you have the lenticular of this iconic image on your Steelbook. I have this currently hanging up on my Spooky Dooky Steelbook wall, and I love looking at it every time I pass it. One of my most prized Steelbook possessions, but I still have 3 more Steelbooks to show you for John Carpenter's The Thing. Here's an oldie but a goodie. This one is the Scream Factory Blu-ray of John Carpenter's The Thing. And I love this image, number one. I feel like the end fight against the big bad thing doesn't really get talked about too much. Love the artwork on this sucker right here. This looks very, very nice. And on the inside's a quote, so I'm not really going to show you that. The quote is, "Somebody in the camp ain't what he appears to be." That's probably the weakest part of this entire line for me, was the quote on the inside. But still a very, very cool Steelbook to have for my favorite movie of all time. Next up, I have about 15 to 20 Mondo Steelbooks, probably closer to 20 Mondo Steelbooks. Again, different artwork for a movie I absolutely love. You're probably getting sick of hearing that, but I'm never going to get sick of showcasing all of these off to you. This is the Mondo Blu-ray of John Carpenter's The Thing. This is one of the first times that I remember seeing a plastic slipcover on a Steelbook. We're with these Mondo Steelbooks, and I was flabbergasted when I figured that out. Less is more. I love the simplistic imagery on this sucker. You open it up, and again, you have the front and back cover kind of mirroring one another, making one long image that's just simple yet striking and hauntingly beautiful. I love it. Speaking of hauntingly beautiful, you have a whole bunch of blood splatters on the inside, and on the disc, I don't know if you can see it, the outpost that they're at is on the line of John Carpenter's The Thing. My fingers are probably over it right there, but this thing is a thing of beauty. And yeah, this was the second or third Mondo Steelbook that I picked up, and I think this sucker has gone crazy in price. So very happy to have it now when I got it at a decent price, I will say. I think I bought it for $40 back when I was collecting Mondo pretty heavily. And last but not least, I have the Titans of Colt 4K Steelbook for John Carpenter's The Thing. Comes with the J card as well. On the back, it's just more icy goodness. But we open this sucker up. Take out what we got. Well, first, I guess I should kind of showcase off what's inside of this set. And actually, one piece that's in here is actually up on display at all times. It's the patch that they wear on all of their suits at the outpost. This also came with an enamel pin. I collect enamel pins, and I put enamel pins in there. This one just seemed kind of plain and basic, and even though it's for my favorite movie of all time, I have a couple more thing enamel pins that I like a lot more, so I didn't even put this one with the rest of my enamel pins. But I think this isn't my favorite, but this is always a doozy whenever I look at it. And it's hard to look at because it's in this plastic case. But look at this gorgeousness of this 4K Steelbook of John Carpenter's The Thing. I love it. I love how this huge image is a spot glossed image, and on the back it's matte. You barely see a matte and gloss combo on the same side of a Steelbook, and whenever I do, I feel like that's the best of both worlds. You have the nice little walking 8-legged creature that has not been on another Steelbook if I remember correctly, so there's that. On the back, you have, again, some matte and some gloss, and it's kind of hard to read the quote. You got to get it in just the right lighting. I don't know if I've shown that to you just yet, but it says, "Man is the warmest place to hide," with the iconic Petri dish on the inside here. God, should I even take the... I don't think I need to take out the discs. I think you get the gist. This is, again, the iconic scene of the paddle situation where they're trying to resuscitate this guy, and then his stomach just opens up and goes rah, 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 rah. Good stuff. Such a great looking release for a movie that I absolutely love. And that's just movie 1, folks. I want to say this stack has 6 movies in it. And I plan on making this series into like a multi-series, because I probably have, if I stay like 6 movies, 7 movies deep, I probably have enough horror movie double dips to probably make like 4 volumes out of this, 5 volumes maybe. So again, stay tuned. Next up, I will even open this Steelbook up for the first time. I'll showcase off the Blu-ray one first, but I just watched this movie for the first time last year, and I gotta say, I had an absolute blast with it. It's one of those movies that I wish I would have watched when I was growing up in like high school, because I feel like this would be a movie that I would just be a huge proponent for. And that, my friends, is Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead right here. This is the Scream Factory Blu-ray Steelbook, of course. Love this movie. I love all the practical effects in it. So good. It's got a very nice running time at 86 minutes. Such a striking image. I love the way this sucker looks. I also, back in the day, used to fold up my J cards to put on the inside. Kind of bugs me now, but you know, as a collector, you evolve and everything. Here is the inside with, again, those quotes, but there's the image of the disc. The quote on here, "Nothing can call it off, but I'm gonna send it back to whatever the hell it came from." Very iconic. Gotta love it. So there is the Blu-ray, but I liked this movie so much, and there was a second edition, a 4K version of this movie that came out that had artwork by friend of the podcast, Mexifunk. He was on like my 3rd or 4th episode of Boutique Talk, and I still think that's my longest episode to date. We just gushed over his art, the history of his art, and since I've had him on, he's probably announced at least 10 more Steelbooks. That dude is on a tear, and I, for one, am always on board to see whatever he has up his sleeve. But here is the 4K Steelbook for Pumpkinhead. This sucker looks absolutely gorgeous as well. Here is the front and back cover, folks. I will take out the discs on this one because I think there's a little bit more to show here. So let me just take out the Blu-ray 4K. Here is the Blu-ray artwork on the disc. Here is the 4K artwork on the disc. And then we have Mr. Pumpkinhead's Slender Man fingers going and trying to be as intimidating as possible. He is threatening his prey. Love this movie. I would say out of both of these Steelbooks, that's something that I should do too. I should do like, here are 2 different versions of the Steelbook. Which one do I personally like better? I'd love to know what your thoughts are in the comments. But for this Pumpkinhead one, I think I have to go with this striking image from Mexico. Love it, love it, love it. Next up, I have a couple versions. This is, I think it's technically a horror movie. I think it kind of strides the line of like action and horror. Maybe it's because we already talked about the man John Carpenter himself, but for me, again, another actor from The Thing, Keith David, and Roddy Piper. Sorry, I'm taking the J card off the back of this one. This is John Carpenter's They Live. And again, we have another dual combo of Shout Scream Factory Steelbooks. Here is the Blu-ray. I thought about doing an entire series of going over like this line with this particular artwork, because there were a lot of Steelbooks that came out, Carpenter specifically, that had this type of artwork. And I have the majority of all of them, but you could stare at this image all day and just find new bits and pieces that I absolutely love. I don't know if my finger was in the way there. Here's another shot of the front and back. Here's the iconic line. This line makes sense to put in a Steelbook like this. The Pumpkinhead one wasn't bad. The Thing one was kind of lazy. This one, of course, I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Roddy Piper. R.I.P. Gone too soon. There's also a bunch of special features. I won't be going into those on this series. I strictly want to go off of like just artwork. Here's the Blu-ray. Let's showcase off the gorgeousness that is, God, sorry. This is probably very loud. The gorgeousness of the 4K Steelbook of John Carpenter's They Live. This is a thing of beauty as well. I am I'm a broken record. I think all of these Steelbooks are like some of like the highlights in my collection. And again, John Carpenter is one of my favorite directors. And this is another example of a Steelbook that has some gloss and some matte. Best of both worlds whenever they decide to do that. It just feels more layered. It feels more premium of a product. Here is the front and back cover. And again, this is another instance to where you can look at this image all day and be completely entertained. I would love to have this artwork hanging up in my basement somewhere down here. This is just great. Here's the inside as well. I already showed you while I'm looking at the back. You got the classic Obey. I don't know if you need me. I guess that image is striking enough. I will put out the discs. Here is the 4K disc. Here's the Blu-ray disc with Keith David and Rowdy Roddy right there. And then we have the iconic Obey Steelbook imagery where the newscast is going on and they're watching with the sunglasses on. Fun movie, not top tier Carpenter for me, but still very, very solid nonetheless. And I would say out of both of these, artwork wise, I'd probably go with the 4K once again. There are some in this line that I would lean towards this line, but just in this instance, the 4K transfer wins out. The 4K artwork on the Steelbook wins out. And last but not least, I have a trilogy of films to talk about. I have a couple Steelbooks to showcase off, and then a couple individuals. I guess I should just rip the Band-Aid off right now. We have the Rob Zombie Firefly trilogy. We have House of a Thousand Corpses, we have The Devil's Rejects, and we have Three from Hell. This Steelbook was a Target exclusive, if I remember correctly. Again, gorgeousness from Lionsgate. It has the slipcover on the sucker. Just gives it so much more added protection, number one. I love how the three fonts of all the movies is right there, and you can just slip it off, and then you still just have the gorgeousness of this Steelbook. And let me tell you folks, front and back of this, so amazing. So amazing. Absolutely love every single ounce of this sucker. There's that. I want to look at it a little bit longer, but I don't want the video to be any longer. Here are the three images of the discs: House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, Three from Hell. You kind of get the gist. And on the back here, maybe I can just pop out House of a Thousand Corpses and be fine. Yeah, there's really nothing. It's just like a red spiral from what I'm seeing. Let me take out Three from Hell just in case. Nope, it's just a red spiral and blood. So there's this one. I'm trying to think of like how I can start showcasing these off. I guess I'll go in chronological order. I have the Blu-ray Steelbook for House of a Thousand Corpses. I can't remember if this was a Walmart exclusive or a Best Buy exclusive. It was around the time to where Best Buy was about to stop selling physical media. I want to say this is a Best Buy exclusive. But again, very similar imagery to the Firefly trilogy Steelbook. We have the front and back cover right here. There is that. Again, looks very, very striking. Love the imagery on this sucker. I think the imagery of this movie is by far the best part of this movie. I think Rob Zombie as a director is very music video based because that's where he kind of came from. And this movie kind of puts that aesthetic to the best use. Here's the disc artwork, and I did put in the Best Buy sticker, so it was a Best Buy exclusive. There is the disc artwork. And on the inside, we have more gorgeousness, folks. We have some amazing artwork on the inside. Every single ounce of this sucker is filled with amazing artwork. That's why I did not get rid of this when I got the Blu-ray for House of a Thousand Corpses. Plus, I want to say this has extra content on it as opposed to that one, because we do have like a full special features disc. Another reason why. And yeah, this has making a featurette. I could have swore that there was a full-length documentary. Rob Zombie is known for having great in-depth full-length documentaries. I guess I know he has one on this release. Here is Three from Hell. To Hell and Back, the making of Three from Hell, a 4-part documentary. He has one on this. He has one on Rob Zombie's Halloween. It's just great. Like, whether you like the movie or you don't, it's a great way to kind of see the art of filmmaking when he kind of goes through the process of showing you everything it takes to make a movie. It's great. What's also great, one of the best slipcover to Steelbook reveals that Lionsgate has ever done. Look at that. Look at all those skeletal remains. That is so amazing. I love that every time that happens. Here's the front and back cover right here. Again, I don't like 3 from Hell. I think 3 from Hell is pretty lazy, but I could not just get rid of this Steelbook. I really, really couldn't. It's a thing of beauty, and I don't need to take the discs out of this one either, because Sherry Moon Zombie is just in the center here. But there's everything from 3 from Hell. I guess it kind of makes a cross, but you get the gist. You definitely get the gist from what I showed you. This is going to be a hard one to pick which one I like as my favorite, but we still have even one more Steelbook to showcase off, and that is the 2nd edition of Rob Zombie's Firefly trilogy that I have. This came out from Lionsgate last year, last Spooky Dookie season. There was a whole line of Steelbooks that had this aesthetic, and I really do like the way, the art style that they chose for this line as well. On the spine, we have the Firefly trilogy right there, but then we also have like a comic book style, like magazine style, volume 1 through 3 on here. We have the horror sticker, but it says Lionsgate on there as well. Very, very nice touch. And then we just have a basic image on the back. These were more budget titles. That's why they don't have the nice plastic casing. I wish they did. They could have put even more like old school 70s marketing on here somewhere. I think it would have looked very, very good. You can also see, I didn't show this for any of the other Lionsgate Steelbooks, but this one still has the first pressing. I'm hoping that that gets focused somewhere, but we'll see. And then on the inside, I'll take out the discs one by one. Here is Devil's Rejects. It has a little bit of iconic imagery from the movies, the Palms Hotel where they stayed at, where, God, one of the most memorable sequences from that whole movie is in there. Here's House of a Thousand Corpses. Here, last and definitely least, is 3 from Hell. But then on the inside, we also have some nice, like, magazine, newspaper-inspired clip outs and quotes. Hello, America, did you miss me? It's all true. The boogeyman is real and you found him. Captain Spaulding is huge right here. I don't know. This release has a lot of style going for it, and I will always give that kudos. When you pick something and you run with it, and I think this one ran with it very, very well. And this is the only copy of Devil's Rejects I have. I guess the 2 different Steelbooks I have, but I wish they would make a big Steelbook for Devil's Rejects like they did with 3 from Hell, like they did with House of a Thousand Corpses. I don't know if that's stuck in limbo over at Lionsgate, but I'd feel like the Devil's Rejects would sell like crazy, don't you? Personally, I do. Came with a J card right here that I did not showcase off, but there that is. If I had to pick my favorite Steelbook out of all of these, out of all of the Rob Zombie ones, my money would have to go to House of a Thousand Corpses, I think. Every single ounce of this Steelbook is full of amazing imagery, discs included, inside artwork is phenomenal as well. My vote would have to go to House of a Thousand Corpses, but that is the end of Volume 1. I talked about, 6 movies, and I showed off almost double the amount of Steelbooks, more than double, actually. How many Steelbooks did I show off? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13! Perfect for Spooky Dookie season. 13 Steelbooks for 6 movies. I'm not counting Devil's Rejects. I'm kind of counting House of a Thousand Corpses, 3 from Hell, as like the Rob Zombie Firefly trilogy. You get what I mean. But I have a lot more doubles. I have a lot more double dips on Steelbooks than just this. These are just the ones that came to my brain right away. Stay tuned. I'll probably make this a weekly series for now. Stay tuned for Volume 2 of same movie, different Steelbook. I had a blast showcasing these off to you. Let me know what Steelbook you prefer in the comments. And until next time, I'll see ya. Hi everybody, you made it to the after credits scene. Good for you, good for you. Trying to think of what my question is here. Like, I literally have a lot of Carpenter and a lot of zombie. I kind of want, I'm just gonna say this. What's your favorite John Carpenter film? I told you mine with John Carpenter's The Thing. That's my favorite movie of all time, period. Let me know what your favorite Carpenter is. I bet a lot of you say Halloween. I personally, there are some movies that never get talked about in his filmography that I really like. Memoirs of the Invisible Man is a good one. There's also Someone's Watching Me, that's what it is. The TV movie that he made right after he got done filming Halloween that is very Hitchcockian. Those are two hidden gems that I think more people should check out. But let me know what your favorite John Carpenter film is in the comments. Just it lets me know that you got all the way to the very end. And stay tuned for volume 2 for the Steelbooks. Here, actually, let me show you. I have a lot of Steelbooks stacked up right here to do the volume 2. I have some more horror. I have some horror comedy, and I think the horror comedy will lead me into comedy. I could probably do 10 installments of this easily, 5 of which are just going to be horror. So stay tuned for all that, and I'll catch you on the next one. But until I do, Rob Zombie is going to come for you. What movie should I throw at you? I'm trying to think of a good one. It's got to be Pumpkinhead, just because of this imagery. Here's Pumpkinhead. He's coming. Just wait. You never know.